Well, morning and welcome to another Guns Contractors video. Something a little bit different. I guess it's a bit of a hobby of mine. Here we are on a Sunday. A little bit of farming. And I just thought I'd run through what it's like for those who've never driven one, what it's like to be a combine driver for the day. Kind of a sort of blog thing. We'll see what we can rustle up. We've got a Claas Trion, brand new this year actually. This one, it's replaced our old Tucano last year that you've seen me driving before. A few things different, as with all machines. Some stuff's a little bit nicer than the old one, and some stuff kind of you think, where have they gone with this? They've gone a bit backward. But the day starts off for me, you've got to open the thing right up, and we've got her all opened here, all the access panels, etc. There's a lot to do on a combine before you can even turn the key. So we've got all the covers off, and I've given it an initial blow down with a leaf blower, which is a horrible job. You can see we've got the engine open there and everything. All the covers off, guards off, etc. And now my job now is to get in. It's got its own little air compressor, and it's all up here. We'll get that out, and we'll start getting into all the details, because the biggest risk of any combine, very much unlike excavators, is fire, really, and you get all this chaff and dust. It's an incredibly dusty environment, and it builds up in places, and they run pretty hot. You say you've got DPFs these days, there's 1,000 degrees up there, and that thing's doing a reburn. That is one of the things that's a lot better, by the way, than the old combine. It's got better heat shielding around it, or less heat shielding in a way, which actually was catching a lot of chaff before, and that can cause a fire, so we don't want that. Anyway, my job now is to clean it down, lube up all the chains. We've got to check, you've got spring tensions, you've got grease nipples to check, although this one actually, a lot of them now are on 50 hours. There's a whole chart of grease nipples here, although if anyone knows where, I think I was trying to find this one. If anyone can find that one, which should be above that pulley, trust me, I've looked, I can't find it. So if anyone can find that one, then let me know where that is. But otherwise, yeah, run through it, make sure she's all fueled up, greased up, AdBlue, and there's no obvious problems. Check belts. You can see there's a lot of drive belts. These things really are based on the old threshing machines that you see now driven, you know, by steam engines. It shows this basically is a threshing machine here, with a cutting head on the front, which currently is off and over here. We'll put that on shortly, and yeah, and it otherwise has its own engine and powers itself and drives along, but very much the same principle. You've got all these different pulleys, run different parts of the combine, and that is still how they run largely when you've got a straw walking machine anyway, which this one is to this day. There are some combines that have got like a trommel type system in them, which is a little bit different, but that is not what we've got. So I need to get cleaning off because the sun is out, and we've got these fields over here to do today. It's quite a bit to get on with. Moisture's all be coming down. Time to get the old girl ship shape and ready to go. So the most important bit to clean is the engine, because there's just so much dust gets sucked up, and it has a spinny anti-chaff device here. But the good news is they allow for this. You can get in nicely at the rads, and you can blow them out, which we'll do in a second. And you can get in a little bit from here to try and blow them from the inside as well. It's not great, but it's possible. But here she is, the Cummins B6.7, 300 horsepower, and she runs absolutely full chat when this machine is running. So there is one setting in the combine, and that is flat out. Yeah, nice engine. We had the Merc engine in the last one, and I have to say this Cummins seems a little bit cleaner around it, a little bit more open to get at things. So yeah, so far I've been relatively impressed with it. But we'll give this a blow down and close her up, check her oils, and then yeah, we won't be far off being ready. Clean the windows, clean the cameras, and we should be not far off good to go. Right, combine's cleaned down. Next stage is to do a moisture test. So you get a bucket full of, literally I've just picked heads of the crop where we're going to go, and yeah, we need to basically act like a combine, and you just thrash these through in your hands and just knock all the seeds out of them, which is basically all the combine does really, just in a mechanical way and with a lot faster. We need to get all the grain out of the pods. So you just rub it all together, known as a sort of hand rub test. And then we've got to separate all the chaff, all the little ears that are still in here, and basically do the blowing bit, which the combine does. So I'll show you once we get rid of some of these. Just easier with two hands. Oh, it's like he's done it before. Level load. She's on for wheat. What's the magic number? 15, isn't it? Or below?
14 at the front.
14. $15.1.
Should be fine by the time I get down there. Go over.
Yeah. 15.1 on a hand rub. It normally comes up another % or so, doesn't it, from what this reads? I think so. It's warming up nicely, isn't it? No point in putting wet gear in the shed. We know we've got all day to do a nice job, haven't we? Right, we've got the header on and we're in the machine, so we now need to get it actually ready to combine. So we need to open up the roof, which you can see I've got a window behind me, and I'll show you what you can see into the grain tank. So you should be able to see, a bit difficult with the glare, the roof's opening up, the auger's coming up, and that is our grain tank, which is all open. So you open that up, that's where the grain will end up. That's done with this button over here. Now we've got to turn on the back, so we've got our revs down at the moment. We need to get the back end all running, so that's all those pulleys and the threshing and the, you know, all the shakers and the fans and everything have to come on. We've got the machine set for the right crop as well. We're in wheat, so you've got to have it in wheat, etc. You can see all the speeds of things warming up here. Then you can increase your speed, get your revs up. In fact, I'll just reset my counter while I'm at it, because obviously new day, new counter, why not? So now she's all going, and then we can get the header going. And now we can go combining. I'll film a bit in a minute when I'm into the field. Need to open this field up first. So we've been going a few hours, and we're into our second field now. And the job pretty much, as a combine driver, is to try and get the crop in as clean a condition as you can, also balance productivity with that. So you've got to obviously get a bit of a lick on, because time is limited. There are only so many hours in the day where the moisture is right, and you're basically playing a big fine balance on this sort of factory on wheels, really, that's turning standing crop into grain. And there's various things you can do to do that. You know, you've got a screen over here which has got all my settings on. If you ever want to hear me talk about that in more detail, I did a video a couple of years ago with the old combine of kind of the basics of how they work and how they run, which you'll find on my channel previously. But certainly you'd think it would be a day you get a bit bored and, you know, going up and down the same thing, and you almost like would imagine that your eyes would get kind of drawn into the crop constantly being fed in. But there is always small little changes that you're making to this machine as you're going. The crop varies in height, particularly this year where it's been very dry. The crop is a bit shorter than it would normally be, so I'm running like the knife right in and the reel down quite low, and occasionally it just sits on the edge of the cutting knife, and you have to kind of bring it in a bit with the reel. So I'm constantly sort of dipping the reel in and out, and making small adjustments. Plus, of course, looking in the grain tank that's behind me, and seeing what the sample looks like, and making small adjustments to just try and get that kind of perfect or as close to clean sample that you can. So you are allowed a little bit of fines, you know, a little bit of excess material as such, and they will clean that up. The various places that grain goes, but yeah, you try your best to have the cleanest you can, because otherwise they'll charge you if you have a particularly dirty sample. They will charge you money for that, you know, for cleaning it up. So yeah, it's just a fine balancing act, and I just love with this machine that you're always there's always something to do. You know, there's always something to adjust, and it's very much not just something you just sit there and press go. Of course, there are combines that do that. They have GPS or an auto steer. This does actually have an auto steer. I've not got on with it particularly. It's meant to follow the edge of the crop with like a laser pilot. It sort of works okay when you've got a very nice edge, but I've had more mistakes with it than I've had success, so I've gone back to driving old school. And the reason I'm not got a full headers width here, which obviously ideally you want to try and cut full headers widths every time, but sometimes the field just doesn't quite work out in full headers, and you got to split the difference, because otherwise you don't want to be just like mowing off a very thin strip, because the combine likes to be full. It threshes better when it's got, you know, material in it, and in fact you can drive a bit faster to try and keep that material coming in when you've got half a header's width or a thin crop like that, because otherwise it won't thresh properly, because the threshing drum's got all that material coming into it, and yeah, it just doesn't thresh properly, and then you get a poor sample in your tank. So that's just one of the many ways that you can affect your grain sample, the output of this machine. It's purely by driving speed, let alone all the settings that you can play with as well. So yeah, it's been a good day. It still reckons it's 25 out there. It was 27 earlier. So the temperature is dropping a bit. It's certainly been warm enough. Moisture's gone right down to the sort of high 12%, which is good, because that means we won't have to pay any extra money for drying it when it goes on. So that's good. Yeah, so this is pretty much the job, really, in a nutshell. You've just got to think a lot about how you go about the job, and you learn the fields over time, and how to attack fields. This one in particular has got quite a lot of short work in it, because it's got a copse, well, two copses that have been joined together with a bit of stewardship in the middle, and you basically almost have to treat like an inland headland. So the headland is the outside of the field, and you would go round the outside, and we'll call open a field up by going round it to give us some space really to turn, etc. And then you have bits like this, which is called land work. So you get into your bouts of land work and work from there. The problem with the copse is it creates another headland on the inside of the field, so you have to then go round the copse 3 times to open it up so you can turn, and then it generates loads of short work, which this field's called Yoke Up Hyde. Odd name, don't know where they come from. All these fields have got names. It's just a traditional thing. They've had them forever. They will continue to have them forever. And Yoke Up Hyde has got a nice mixture of manholes in it, which are great fun to avoid. It's got a few pylons in it as well, a couple of pylons which are nice. You want to avoid them, and a load of copses. So yeah, plenty to avoid in this field. Let alone when you come across maybe fox den or somewhere where maybe a deer has flattened the crop and you have to kind of pick it up, or any of these other hazards that you get when you're combining. So yeah, always something to do, and then plenty of people walking past, plenty of kids waving, which I always enjoy, because I think that's exactly what I'd have been doing, just sitting there watching this all day when I was younger. Now I get the joy of actually driving these machines, which is pretty cool, and I never forget. I'm pretty lucky to have generated these opportunities myself. But anyway, another spin, another turn. That's finished a little bit. Just basically doing a diminishing corner on this field. You always want to keep your auger to the left, clear, in sort of clear ground that you've already cut. Because otherwise you can't unload. There are a couple of exceptions when you have the auger to the crop side, but you try not to as a general rule, because if you ever got stuck, well, you would get stuck essentially. If you were going down a bout that you had your auger to the crop side, the tractor can't get alongside you, you'd have to cut him a lay-by, which you can do, and in fact when you do headlands that are quite long you have to do that, but it all takes time, and it's the key with this machine is keep it rolling, keep it moving. Speed overall is, it's good, but you don't want to go too fast. You'll stuff it up and it'll get gummed up and stop. So consistency and speed, sort of there's a trade-off with that, which is part of the fun of driving these crazy machines. So otherwise, it's really nice. Just chill out, listen to the radio, listen to a few songs, playlists, podcasts, all of that sort of thing. I find it quite relaxing, which for a Sunday, for a day off work, is it's pleasant, isn't it? A day off farming. Yeah, I mean, if I had to do this as a job every day, day in, day out, I've done some seasons of combining. And I enjoy it, but it's I'm sure after a while the fun wears off. But yeah, I get the luxury of dropping in and helping where I can, and as such it's always exciting to drive the combine every year. And of course it is summer, isn't it? It's the epitome of summer really for me. And you get to see. We had a buzzard earlier. There were some kites as well flying about. They are of course interested in any of the little rodents and mice that are hidden in the crop. So yeah, it's great. It's good to see them. I enjoy it. So it's nice. Nice part of the world. And in the evenings you get to see the deer running up and down with you, or trying to run away from you mainly, but you end up chasing them quite often because they'll run down tram lines and things. It's nice. It's good to see. England is a lovely place in the summer when it's not all grey and dreary like it can be. Anyway, let's see how we get on. My plan is to finish this field off. There's not a huge amount left in here because of, as I said, all the aforementioned obstacles. It's a big area, but there's not actually a lot of crop space to combine. So we'll do what we can with that, get that off, and I think there's a couple more smaller fields which we'd like to get in. Now we've got some lorries booked for tomorrow, so we'll get them loaded up. Well, the lads will. I'll go back to actually digging because I've got to go somewhere else and go digging tomorrow. But The other guys on the farm will get the lorries loaded up, clear the shed, and maybe tomorrow evening we'll have another go at it. You can't combine in the morning because of the dew and getting your moistures right, so it's always an afternoon into evening job. That's why you'll see a lot of combines rolling evenings and even into the night. You know, before the dew comes down, you can often go till, well, we've done midnight, 1 in the morning. But to be honest, it starts to become a bit of a diminishing return at that point. Once it starts getting sticky and sticks on the knife and things, it's no fun at all. So anyway, we'll crack on with a bit more and see what we get. 10 to 7. Lovely evening. Time flies when you're driving this thing. It really is well, something I hugely enjoy anyway. Well, it's 10 o'clock and we're done. 3 fields done. That's not bad really. But yeah, it's getting late. Let the combine cool down, make sure we haven't got any potential, you know, fires or anything on it. So we just leave it ticking over for a little bit, go and check it, and then we'll switch her off and start it all again tomorrow. So it hasn't been particularly late, could be later, but yeah, been a good day. Got about 150 tonne in the shed or something, so plenty to be getting on with. Anyway, another good day tomorrow. Thanks for watching, see you later.